Morning. Time to go make a movie.
With Babylon, I wanted to capture those early days of Hollywood in a really unvarnished, unsanitized way.
It's the most magical place in the world.
Kodak was an amazing partner, helping us shoot 4-perf 35mm film and shoot the amount of film we needed to shoot for such an expansive epic.
There's something magical to do a film about your own industry as well.
And action.
So Babylon had to be filmed.
This business started on film. It felt like the only natural way to represent the spirit for those people were. How they were making films was insane.
Take 2 frames off the tail and 3 more off the head.
Linus takes us on an incredible visual journey.
I like to get what I get in camera. In Babylon, we didn't really follow any rules. We treated the film dramatically on day exteriors. I wanted to feel really deserty and pale, so I overexposed like 3 to 4 stops and push process. That treatment on digital camera would just look overexposed and bright. Shooting on film helps to make a more emotional connection with the audience.
You gotta map those dreams onto celluloid and print them into history.
Well, the hope was to make something that felt like a roller coaster filled with vivid characters, spectacle, excess, onto one panoramic canvas. At the end of the day, Kodak film just lent itself to that aesthetic.
When I shoot on film, I kind of always know exactly how it's gonna look, and then when I get the dailies back, it's always a little better.
I'd been working on this movie for almost 15 years. I wanted to show what really happened during this time, the extremes to which they lived and worked and partied. It's something you would not expect from the 1920s.
Don't worry about that. The car is not mine.
All the stories and all the people are all inspired by real events.
Take 2 frames off the tail and 3 more off the head.
Damien, as a director, pushes himself, his crew, and the art he's creating to a whole nother level.
What the?
The way that he tells stories is so meticulous and precise because Damien has so many things going on at once.
There's no CG. Damien did in the camera. This is something that very few people could pull off.
The moving pictures magic tricks.
Damien is an auteur. He is one of the greats of our generation.
Whether it's researching, writing the screenplay, shooting, he's just extremely ambitious.
I was lucky to have this amazing team help me to get this insane early Hollywood vision onto the screen.
Let's roll, people! Let's go! Take 2!
Florencia Martin has brought back history in a way that has made it so alive. You're gonna find a Los Angeles that you can taste and smell and touch because of her work.
Go, players!
In discussions with Damien about how he wanted the film to look visually, from the get-go, he said, I want to be very historically accurate. My first evolution is diving into research and looking at what the city looked like in the 20s.
Florencia had this insane challenge with this movie of not just recreating Los Angeles at this time, but also within that recreating each studio experience, and within that recreating each of the sort of fictional movie sets. You're talking about sets within sets within sets. The first week of shooting was the sort of big kinescope sequence.
We found this location in Peru, and we came here because it's completely desolate, and it was what Hollywood and studios looked like in the silent film era.
Action!
What had been a completely empty field, Florencia and her team used as the basis for building an outdoor silent movie studio with 6 or 7 sets running at all times. It was extraordinary.
Cut. So, now what did we discuss?
When in doubt, say something French.
There's 2 worlds in this film. There's people that are very impoverished, and then there's people that have a lot of money. Looking at how we were going to shape those worlds by color was really important. Damien wanted to be bold with our color choices while still being historically accurate. building sound stages, an entire 900-person battlefield, and 6 high-end homes, and doing historical recreations. Babylon is at the scale of these mythical movies you heard of in the past.
We've got to innovate. We've got to inspire.
What happens up on that screen means something.
Our guiding principle for music was to be rooted in the time, but to really push the edges of what we normally expect.
I was blown away by the script. And once we started talking about what the score could be, what if we use the instrumentation of a 1920s jazz band, but hinting at rock and roll and modern dance music? I got very excited about it. We wanted music that was more aggressive.
Hell yeah!
More in your face.
We've got to innovate. We've got to inspire.
Justin has been working on this music even before we began shooting, so you feel that in the work.
There's no doubt in my mind. This is a score for the ages.
Justin's music gives me chills. It's really, really beautiful.
So we want to build plateau, build plateau, build plateau.
To get to play some of the songs brilliantly composed by Justin.
You got those cameras pointed in the wrong direction.
I mean, it was really cool.
Tracks like the one that you heard at this opening party.
Oh, I love this song!
It's full of wild solos, screaming sax, wailing trumpet, and creating the sound of that perk. It's banging shoehorns, wood hitting the floor of my home, literally. It's unhinged in like a beautiful way. Putting it all together, like the amount of sessions, the amount of players in this movie. It's been a really complicated but gratifying score to put together.
And camera and sound.
Babylon is a culmination of wild range of sounds and music.
We want to shatter that quaint cliches of that time period and for the sound to be real and visceral and a little bit larger than life.
Witness to the latest of the moving pictures magic tricks.
We have everybody on their own personal mics. We have so many scenes where there's multiple conversations going on.
It's almost like controlled chaos sound.
Sound is how we redefine the form. Sound!
Sweetie,
I wanted the film to feel like a circus, like a roller coaster. You know, it had to be a truly immersive sound experience.
Hey, life, Grant!
Babylon has by far the largest number of actors that I've ever dressed on a film. There are 7,000 costumes in this movie. Between background and 150 speaking parts. And principal cast members had about 15 changes.
The hope is to demolish the expectations of a period piece, and especially of a movie about old Hollywood.
Action!
A lot of it was inspired by research because the challenge was always find some inspiration that's from the 20s that doesn't look like your typical 20s.
We talked a lot about how the characters largely define themselves through what they're wearing, especially people like Nellie, LaRoy.
Oh, that came out of nowhere. Nellie comes from nothing, and if we could see that in a costume, then great.
Honey, you don't become a star. You either are one or you ain't.
Nellie's first outfit for this Hollywood party. My thought was that it was something that she could have cobbled together herself, like tap pants and a scarf that she put around the waist. And she's thinking, it covers what I need to cover, but it shows everything that I want to show.
Oh, I love this song!
She knows this is her chance to get discovered. And she does.
Jack Conrad?
This is Estelle.
His fiance.
Jack Conrad is her the uber movie star.
Sound is how we redefine the form.
My pitch for Jack was that he's such a big movie star that he's just not formal.
Oh my God, JC!
He wears a tuxedo to the parties, but other than that, we don't see him in a suit. We hand knit all of his sweaters. We built all of his clothes, like head to toe, everything. And he looks fantastic.
Time to go make a movie.
Manny, he wants to do anything related to movies. He's finally working for a big producer.
When he starts assisting Jack, he has one sport coat until he gets successful. And then he's in this beautiful three-piece suit.
Let's go! Take two!
It's imperative for me that the wardrobe is perfect because you put it on, and if it's done right, you are the character.
Cara mia.
Jack. Every single thing that my character wears is beautiful. The colors, the story behind the fabric. She has the best wardrobe in this film.
Billy!
Good costumes always help. It makes you move differently, makes you feel differently about your character.
Oh, why do I bother?
The costumes were quite outrageous because we wanted it to be unlike anything we'd ever seen on film before.
Mary, she had a sense of exactly what was needed from the first moment she read the script. She saw a challenge that was exciting. And she nailed it.